Visit our website at collectorarchive.com for grading, preserving, and custom displays of your collectible toys, video games, and sports memorabilia.
Hey there, toy fans. This is Chris Whitlock from CAS, and welcome to CAS Roadshow. I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan at Rocket Comics taking in submissions. The place is already pretty busy, so let's go on inside and see what they've got for me. Meet you inside.
Hey guys, Justice Cury here. I have another amazing adventure. I am at Rocket Comics in Kalamazoo, Michigan. CAS is here. CAS is a grading company, and I brought some really exciting things in. I'll just give you a sneak peek real quick. Carded Boba Fett and a pre-production G.I. Joe that you're not going to want to miss, so stick around. But first, I want to introduce you to my friend Chris from CAS. How you doing, Chris?
Hi everybody, Justice Chris Whitlock. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well. So it looks like we have some amazing treasures here.
Yeah, these are actually from my personal collection. I'm a big CAS fan, kind of part of why I'm part of the company now. So yeah, I bring some things here as samples if you want to take a look at some of the stuff we have here.
Oh my gosh. So what is CAS?
So Collector Archive Services is a grading and authenticating service for action figures. I always make the mistake of saying vintage, but it's action figures clear across the board from as old as they come to as new as they come. So
wow.
Yeah. So these are some of my items. Some of them are custom. Some of them are, you know, just your standard bread and butter mint on card stuff. I understand you have a couple of really exciting things for me, so I can't wait to see them.
I did bring some things over that I wanted to show you. So what is the process? Because all I know is there's a booth here, CAS is here, and I just walked in and said, hey, let's start filming. So how does someone submit something?
Well, you start by bringing something awesome like this Boba Fett, which is absolutely outstanding. So 65B mint on card Boba Fett, and you're going to give it to me.
Yes.
We're going to fill out some paperwork here, and one of the advantages of dropping something off personally is that I'm going to go ahead and cover the shipping for you to the company.
Oh, nice.
So that's kind of nice. It's a little bit of a discount on it, right? Then we'll go ahead and submit it. You're going to get an email that tells you that we did in fact get it. Yep. Our mint on card stuff's running like 45-50 days, so in about that time you're going to get an email saying that it's done. You're going to be able to go to the website. You're going to see pictures of it, because one of the things we do, and this obviously isn't from your Boba Fett, but one of the things that we do is we photograph all of our items, and they end up with a certificate of archival, right? And the certificate of archival shows one picture on it here. It comes with your item, but we actually take a picture of front, side, and back and of the grade. So just in case there's ever an issue where it turns up missing and you need to talk to your insurance company. Some of the stuff that you're giving to me, we'll just say isn't the type of stuff that you buy for $1 or $2, right? So and there are things that you're going to want to be able to show what it was, what the grade was, and to be able to prove value. And it's really easy to do when you have a tangible grade on there, right?
Nice.
So yeah.
Oh my goodness. So here, let me grab. This is the cameraman, by the way, the awesome Cody. How are you, brother?
What's up, everybody?
Hey. And we're going to talk about Cody's grading service for a comic in a minute. So here's some of the examples of your personal collection.
Yes.
What does grading mean? I mean, what is it? What happens?
It's a third party that goes and takes a look at your items and gives them a grade on a scale of 1 to 100. You know, 1 being the worst, 100 being the best.
Yeah.
And then there's different labels that mean different things. So for example, a mint on card figure that's actually truly mint on card, even though this is in poor shape, gets a red label, right?
Okay.
So now, let's say you have a loose figure. So your loose figures are going to get a grade with the green label, right? That's our loose grade.
Right there where it says CAS, that's the green, and then he's talking about the red where it says CAS.
And then let's say you have a really poor condition item, right? And you want to get a loose version of that figure, but you really don't feel like opening it up because you don't want to destroy the packaging. We also now have our preserve grade, which is a black label, right? So we grade only the action figure as it is, right? And then we make it so you don't have to open the card. So this would have probably graded like a 30.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody to take them off the card because there's only a finite amount of these that exists in the world, right?
Right.
So instead of destroying something that still looks great, you have the option of saying, look, I'm going to treat this as if it's a loose figure. It's going to be part of my loose figure collection, but I'm going to keep him on the package with all of his accessories minted unused. Right, so this is our answer to the infamous U grades.
Nice.
So yeah.
And what really strikes my eye is when someone brings in a loose figure with multiple accessories, the display value, because otherwise you'd put all this together and it'd be sitting there.
Right. So when you imagine this penguin on a shelf, right? It's sitting with a whole bunch of other things, and the accessories just kind of get lost in the shuffle. But that's really where your value sometimes is tied up in the accessories and the artwork and the workmanship and craftsmanship behind it, right? So this is awesome looking. And they have it all spread out. Now you have this tangible item that looks great sitting on a shelf. And even if you're not necessarily an action figure collector, but you want something on your desk at work, that looks cool. To just have one thing that is custom displayed like that. So really something that we take a lot of pride in is how we do our loose figures.
And that brings me to the second point of the second item I brought in, which is extremely special.
I cannot wait for this one, actually.
This is a one-of-a-kind pre-production Crocmaster from the 80s G.I. Joe line. Now, it's featured in pre-production books where I got credited with it, and it's hand-painted resin prototype.
Absolutely outstanding.
And part of the reason I brought it in is because I normally have it loose with the accessories such as the whip and the croc, but I want it displayed where my kids aren't going to pick it up and put it in, and
because this isn't like a $2 item. Right?
No, this is like, I mean,
a very, very expensive item, right?
Right, and it's hard to put prices to stuff like this.
And on top of it, this has a lot of accessories, right? So I always tell people when you're talking about loose G.I. Joes, some figures come with like a weapon or two, and that's fine, but some of them come with things like alligators.
Yeah,
right?
such as...
So you have an alligator that comes with your action figure. I mean, you want to have this dynamic display. You want to have something that is very tangible. And then when you're talking a prototype, well, now we're on an entirely different level, so to speak. So this is absolutely outstanding. So how do we know, what about this tells us that this is a prototype?
Well, there's multiple things. First, if you compared it to an original, which there's probably an original around here, you can tell the paint is glossier.
I did notice it is shinier.
The normal hose would plug into his mouth and into his shoulder. This is glued. And then if there's no maker's marks on it, no country of origin.
Okay, very cool.
And plus I know the source of where I got it from, the provenance, exactly.
So now are his accessories, are these also prototype?
This is also a resin. It's like one of the fingers of the croc got broken off of, and normally it would be molded one solid color, it wasn't painted.
Okay.
But this one was painted. You can tell that it was a white
white cast.
Yes, a white cast. Same with the whip. It's brittle, it's starting to break, whereas the production whip was flexible plastic. But it's super exciting. It's something I've had for a while.
So this is one of those things that people sometimes will ask, should you get something graded? And obviously a prototype, right? It's no question. But you're getting to a point now where this, unlike a toy that was product tested and built to last, this certainly was not.
Right.
So the more this gets handled, and I appreciate you bringing it here and potentially, not with the intention of bringing it, but there's always that chance the more you handle these things. So it's awesome that you're going to go ahead and have these done up and be encased, because now you're sort of preserving it for future generations. Because someday there's going to be somebody after you that's going to want that and is going to love it for a lifetime, and maybe the next guy and the next guy. So absolutely.
And it adds the additional provenance, because it's not just me saying it, it's another credited agent, third party going, yep, I've looked over the provenance, I've looked over this, and I'm also saying that it's pre-production, which raises values later on.
Grading makes selling easier.
It does.
I always tell people, I said, when somebody doesn't know what they have, if it's graded, the label tells them what it is, right? Absolutely. So even if somebody's a novice and they walk in, they have a graded item, and they say, well, I'm not really sure what this is, you know exactly what it is. You can go search online for what that is based on what you see on the label. And when it going back to provenance too, which is nice, is that the people are probably the people we know.
Absolutely, so it's all the same circle.
You get to talk to a lot of the same people, so we'll probably talk to the same person that you purchase this from, and we'll be able to put together sort of a trail of of provenance, and it's nice to see it.
Absolutely.
Actually hold the prototype aside. I get excited about these toy things, so I apologize if it comes off a little bit cheesy, but you know, it's
not.
the business we're in, right?
Because the people watching this wouldn't be watching it unless they also have a love for
they're
toys.
They're here for it too. So,
yes, they love toys. We all love toys. So thank you for showing.
Thanks for bringing it.
Yes,
I cannot wait to see you do a box opening, and please do a box opening showing everybody before and then after.
I certainly will do that. Well, thanks.
Cool. Nice meeting you, Justice.
Nice
I appreciate it.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.
Hey everybody, I'm back here at the office. That event at Rocket Comics was absolutely outstanding. You know, on the west coast of the state, there's a lot of big name collectors, a lot of stuff coming through the door. You really never know what you're going to see, and really, that event sort of proves my point. My interview with Justice Cury was outstanding. Thank you for doing that. Brought in a couple of really nice things. I was busy all day long. Towards the end of the day, this gentleman came in with some loose Masters of the Universe figures, and we were really busy, and I didn't have any chance to film him, and I didn't know he was coming in, and the things he brought in are outstanding. They're the type of things that you see maybe once in a lifetime. So while I was unable to film them at the show or at the store, I'm going to actually do a little bit of a quick recap here because I'm just so excited to have them. So stay tuned for a minute. I'm going to get set up and I'm going to show you what we got. All right, guys, we're back. I'm all set up, and my goodness, these are just some amazing things. So when you're thinking about loose Master of the Universe figures, Grail pieces, right? To me, there's one figure that really kind of comes to mind, one that you can only find loose. Maybe a little bit of a hint there, right? So, first of all, we have the infamous Wonder Bread He-Man and his accessories. Really nice condition. You know how tough these are fine in any condition. And I can say I think I've seen these in a display case once or twice in my life, but I've never actually physically held one. And this one's actually in pretty nice shape. Really, I mean, this is the end of the day, right? But stay tuned, right? Wait, there's more. As if that couldn't get good enough, we have a more mint Wonder Bread He-Man. That's right, two Wonder Bread He-Man, right? So absolutely outstanding. End of the day, this walks in. So now not only have I held one, now I've held two in the same day at the same time. But there's more. So sticking with Grail pieces, here we have a Bluebeard Stratos. You can see it's got the blue beard, the blue highlights in the eyes. Really one of the rarer variations in the Master of the Universe line. One that I wasn't really super familiar with, but as it turns out, this is one that is very, very desirable and also in really nice shape. So that's it for the American stuff, but there's still more. So this one's actually really cool. This is a Top Toys He-Man, and I have his shield. If you notice, his legs are molded with a different character's legs, feet, or whatever they are. I'm guessing Merman, but that's not, Master of the Universe is not my forte. You can also tell that his body is a much different color than the original He-Man action figure. And then his shield is, let me get it for you here, sort of a yellowish as opposed to the orangish. It's just a different look altogether. So, that's pretty sweet. But the piece de resistance here is one that I've heard about, I've seen once on a video. It's from Brazil, or sorry, Argentina. It's a Top Toys figure, and this is it. So this is the Cobra Khan, the camouflage version of it, right? So in Argentina for Top Toys, they kind of had some variations, some differences here. And so one of the things they did is they have Buzz-Off's claws for his arms as opposed to actual regular fists. Okay, he has a much different paint scheme on his chest, and also if you can see, he actually has the snake symbol. So he was originally released as just one of Skeletor's henchmen, but then when they lumped him in with the snake men like King Hiss and all that, when they came out with all the snake themed villains, and But he never got any sort of badging for that particular band of bad guys until apparently Argentina decided to do it. So that deco on his chest is something that never appeared in the United States. And then the arms were something that, and I guess he could come both ways. So he could come with fists or with the buzz off pinchers. And I think that the pinchers definitely add to the appeal of this character. But this is what happened. So, you know, Rocket Comics, if you're ever in Michigan, you want to go there. It is a comic book store and a toy store, but it's like the vintage toy store that you've always wanted to see, right? So Eddie is the owner, and he's been collecting toys and comics for ages. So he has stuff from brand new, high end, you know, Japanese stuff, all the way to sweet vintage items. So if you're ever out in Kalamazoo and you're looking for something to do, I highly recommend Rocket Comics, because this is the stuff that walks through the store. So thanks for hanging out with me. I know it's a little bit unusual for me to do a submission segment all by myself, but I had to show you, and unfortunately we were unable to get it on camera. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching the Roadshow. Like, subscribe, share, and see you next time. Bye.